Howdy folks, I'm the roleplay gamer and I like to party. So the Grey Goo leaderboard has been wiped and the tournament series is in full swing. There's still time to qualify up until the 26th of September, I believe. $10,000 going to the grand winner. I thought I'd try my hand at some casting. This is my first time casting anything really, so please, your tips and feedback is most appreciated. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Today I'm bringing you a David and Goliath battle between anubisdotexe and Bike Rush, who is currently head of the leaderboard on the Coastlands map 1v1 ranked. Bike Rush has started off with double ref, a strategy I personally enjoy myself, but a risky one that I actually have trouble executing. The upside is you get your early game resources a hell of a lot quicker, but you make yourself very vulnerable to early rush tactics like so. So Anubis is clearly coming in for a scout and possibly to harass Bike Rush's supply lines, but it's just not enough damage to really cause any problems. Meanwhile, Bike Rush is sending his starting scout, his Trident, all the way across the map, trying to find where the hell anubis.exe is hiding, and he just manages to find his Mother Goo, takes a couple shots, does a surprising amount of damage, but then has to flee as anubis.exe pulls out a small protean to give chase. Small protean, of course, is quite a bit faster than a Trident, and eventually catches up to it, and then it's all over. No way in hell he's going to survive that. Anubis.exe continues to micro his starting mother, a necessity with the goo. You can't really leave them in the same place for too long because they are vulnerable. As powerful as they are up close, from a distance they are quite vulnerable, especially to units that are able to move and fire at the same time. Anubis's Drover still not dealt with. I suppose Bike Rush is thinking, it's not enough of a threat to really bother. We've got two factories coming in, a little bit of teleport action, and a turret teleported into the thick of things to deal with those two Striders and the Drover. We've got a revolver that takes out the Drover, and the turret fends off those Striders, and they manage to get out with a little bit of damage, but otherwise intact. We've also got a tank attachment, some crafty base building here. One tank attachment servicing two factories. And here we go. Here's the signature aggressive strategy from Bike Rush. Something that I personally haven't seen before. This ridiculous ovipositor of conduits moving out to the next closest resource spot. The Striders come back in to try and take that out, try and negate that strategy. We've got that same turret from before, very economical in his resources. Bike Rush moves that turret to defend this this snake of conduit. Couple of revolvers, and that turret does manage to take out the Strider. Those Striders just can't cut the mustard, or cut the goo, if you will. We've now got two Mother Goos for anubis.exe, continuing to micro them across the map, just getting enough resources. Now, the Goo is a really tricky faction. They have in the past excelled at early game rush tactics. I myself have fallen prey to 3-minute games, losing 3-minute games against the Goo. They are very powerful in the rush, but then again, it is an all-in strategy. If that rush fails, it can be all over. They do build up relatively slowly, and it's definitely a different playstyle, and it's a different mentality because your potential attack units are also your structures. So it's very risk-reward, rather. So this Mother Goo comes in for the attack to take out the extractor, hiding just out of range. Some very, very careful micro there. Does a decent amount of damage to the extractor, but Bike Rush is on the ball. Teleports his anti-heavy sentinel and fends off that Mother Goo. The Mother Goo has to get out of there, just cannot hack it. The time it would take to try and take out that turret, it would just have taken too much damage and would have been left too vulnerable. So now we're starting to see a little bit of an end to the micro, not entirely, but of course the more goos you have, the more mothers you have, the trickier it is to micro all of them, to keep them safe and get them harvesting resources optimally. It looks like this mother, it is difficult to tell, but based on its movements, it looks like it has been set to patrol. This is a tactic I personally enjoy quite a great deal because it keeps that subtle micro going while also allowing you to focus on other things. So I may have been wrong there. That might have been manual movement. So don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we've got that vulnerable spot on this ridiculous ovipositor has been patched up with a few factories. It's still not enough to protect it entirely, but it is a little bit of a buffer. Ideally, what Bike Rush wants is some units or a couple of turrets there just to slow the attack. We've got 2 refineries here. They can Bike Rush continues to take out that catalyst vent plug to get the maximum amount of resources from this area. We now have 4 Mother Goos moving around the map. As I said before, the micro is starting to slow down. It is trickier to micro these things to their full extent, their full potential when you have a lot of them. So we are starting to get up there. We've got 3 mothers with 2 pips and 1 mother, presumably the freshest one, with 0. And I'm also not seeing a lot of, actually any units on the map from anubisdotexe. He seems to be going for a bit of a mother rush, getting as many mothers out as possible. And I've got to wonder if that's going to work out for him in the long run. It is almost an analog to Bike Rush's strategy of, not really producing that many units. His unit production is bare bones. His resource income is in the negative. In fact, it's very rarely in the positive throughout this whole game. He's got a very aggressive building strategy, just almost attacking with his structures. And here it is. This is the strategy this is the play that really surprised me. I mean, moving across to this resource area is one thing. We've got 4 refineries here, really kicking those resources into gear. 1 extractor being harassed by a mother, but is unable to continue to do so as the attack moves in. This strategy right here, pretty much like attacking with his conduits, very interesting. At this point, Bike Rush playing the humans, which is a defensive strategy and typically very closed off, actually has some serious map control with his base. This is ridiculous. This is something I haven't seen before. Now, granted, this might be the meta now. This might be the norm, but it's personally something I haven't seen. So he moves out across the map with his conduit, places down some turrets, seems to be actually teleporting the turrets, maybe. Teleporting some of them, building some new ones. Not wasting resources at all. And then pops down some refineries. It's a strategy that seems to be working for him really well. This mother is being dominated by the Gladii here. The Gladii is of course a very strong unit against the Mother Goo due to their ability to kite, because they can attack while moving. We're down to 4 Mother Goos again. The micro starts to pick up as anubisdotexe realizes he's in trouble. This Mother Goo is probably going to have a pretty bad day at this point. It's not going to be able to escape from these Gladii. Does a little bit of damage, but then pops. We're down to 3 Mother Goos, and it looks like it's all over. Bike Rush starts to kick in the factory production here, presumably for a final push. It's difficult to tell at this point whether he knows his one yet. Looks like he might. He's got, or did until a couple of seconds ago, he did have eyes on at least 2 of the 3 Mother Goos on the field. Now we're down to 2 Goos. 2 Goos with units in the area. He's almost got eyes on both. He's got to know where they are at the very least, even if he can't see them. That's 1 spotted. Looks like he's just holding his Gladiator back, waiting either for it to come out or waiting for those reinforcements that are starting to trickle in from his factories. Still building, not resting on his laurels here at all. Holding back a couple of units just in case there's a hidden goo coming over the ridge there. Moves his units in. Some destructors were built, but they just cannot deal with the numbers there. And the GG is called. It's all over Red Rover. If I may use some cheesy lingo there for a moment. And there we go. There's the surrender. An interesting game, a short game. I wanted to start off with a short game just to sort of ease into it. Like I said, this is the first time I've really tried casting anything properly, so please give me your feedback and your tips. I hope to do a lot more of this. But that strategy that Bike Rush employed there with the human faction, very interesting. I'm tempted to try that out myself. That's not something I've seen before, as I said. It's something I'd seen the potential for, but never thought that anyone would try it. I would have thought it'd be perhaps a bit too aggressive and not quite conservative enough for the meta, if you will. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say there. But anyway, guys, with no further gilding the lily and no more ado, thank you for watching. If you want to see more Grey Goo replays in the future, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to show your support. Be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Roleplay Gamer, out.